Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little different, which I'm really excited about, and it's a first impressions video. Now excuse the voice, I am a little sick, so I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I hear it definitely. I sound a little nasally. I'm fighting a cold, but I haven't filmed in so long, it felt like, so I feel like I really wanted to sit down for you guys and film this. Now this is something, like I said, I was really excited to film because up until probably about a year ago, maybe even less, I was strictly a MAC girl. I literally used nothing other than MAC. And then I met somebody who kind of rekindled my love for makeup, kind of sparked that in me again. And ever since then, I have been hoarding everything I could get my hands on. So I just really wanted you guys to see my real reactions when I use something for the first time. So you guys can see if something freaks me out, if I'm loving it, if I'm obsessed. You guys get to see that right on hand. So I really hope you guys like this video. This is the look I created. Super colorful, super bright, which is something I used to do all the time, and I've lately just kind of toned everything down, but I've been missing the bright front colors, so I decided to go back that way. So let's just jump right into this video. So for my eyes today, this is one of the new products that I've never tried before, and it is the JEFFREE STAR Beauty Killer palette. Now I have, like I said, never touched this before. It's brand new, and I really wanted to go for something really colorful and bright. That used to be my ballpark. It used to be basically all I ever did, and I've noticed that I've kind of been losing that. So when I saw this palette and purchased it, it was to me the perfect bright eye. So I'm going to be going in and making it a little intense. Now I do already have my eyes primed and set as always. So I think I'm going to go in with Courtney first on a BH Cosmetics 12 brush. And I'm just going to buff this into my crease. I do notice that this color has a lot of pickup. There's a lot of powder in the pan, but as long as the color is pigmented, that really doesn't bother me all that much. And this is extremely pigmented, and to be honest, this is probably like the perfect transition shade. I really love the undertone of this color. So next I'm going to take the color Star Power on a MAC 217, and I'm just going to get it on the very tip of the brush. Now this brush is a little on the flat side, which I like because I'm going to take the brush and tuck it into my crease. Wow. Okay. Now that is a bright color and I love it. Now I think I'm going to wing out my shadow, so I'm just going to take that Star Power and just bring it up. Now this color, I did notice I had to put 2 layers to get the intensity that I really want, which again is not something that really bothers me with shadows, especially these really bright colors. I almost prefer the bright colors to have to be built up, because if you put this color on and it's too bright and too intense right away, it might freak you out or it just might be too much. So I personally prefer these colors to need to be built up. And also this color is super soft, and when I say soft, I mean that in sometimes when you have really bright colors themselves, the pan is hard, like it just is. There's no creaminess to the shadow, where I feel that this has enough creaminess in it where it blends out extremely well. Now I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to dip the entire side in Star Power, and I'm going to pack this on the inner and outer third of my eye. I'm going to go in with Confession, and I'm using a Morphe E18. Now this is just a large pencil brush, so I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that Confession, and I'm going to pack that on the inner and outer corner as well. So I am noticing that this color is not layering the way I would like it to. It almost like it's blotchy, like you can see here. It's just, I don't know, it's not working out the way that I wanted it to. It didn't work out exactly the way I wanted it to, so I think I'm going to switch to Violence, and I'm going to use a MAC 239 brush, and I'm going to take this and pack it on the inner corner to intensify it a little bit and deepen it up. Oh yeah, that is way more what I was looking for, which is fine because I kind of wanted to use as many colors in this palette as possible so I could give you guys my thoughts on each and every one. Yeah, way more what I was going for. So I think I'm actually going to pick that up and also pack a little bit of that on the outer corner. Going to pick up a little bit more of Star Power just to keep that outer edge of the whole look very pink. I'm actually going to take a little bit of that pink and kind of dust it in to my brow right here. I've been really loving to do this. I feel like it makes the look a little bit more grungy and not so precise, which I've really been liking lately. Now I'm going to clean everything up and make everything really crisp and really clean with a makeup wipe in the end, so I really don't care if it kind of gets mucky and there's fallout. And for me, fallout is not something that bothers me because I do my eyes first, so fallout is just, to me, it's inevitable with certain shadows, and I always do my eyes first, so it's not something that really is a yes or no for me. I want to really deepen them up, so I think I'm going to take a little bit of Vanity on a large pencil brush again. I'm going to really concentrate that on the innermost and outermost corners of the eye. Now I am using packing motions, but this color, I'm really liking the color payoff, especially because it's built up on top of multiple shadows. Sometimes that can affect the intensity, especially with darker shades, but I'm not noticing that at all with this color. I'm actually really liking the way it's turning out. Now I'm going to go back in with a little bit of Violence and kind of blend out that color. And as you can see, I am using patting motions, not going to be swiping, just because we're layering so many shadows on top of each other. I don't want to pick anything up. Now I'm going to take a little bit of Violence on, and I totally might regret this, on the tip of this brush, and I'm going to kind of wing it out just a little bit, just so that it doesn't go from like dark to pink. I want there to be at least a little bit of a gradient. Now for the center of my lid, I'm going to be using that gold in the palette, but I want to take a little bit of my Urban Decay primer potion, and I'm just going to pop this in the center of my lid just to really help with the intensity of that gold shadow. And I'm just going to take my finger and pat it out. Now taking a MAC 232, I'm going to coat the side of my brush in this Rich Bitch color. And I'm going to pack that on the center of my lid. Wow. I honestly thought that this was not going to go well, that I was going to have to spray my brush with MAC Fix Plus, because even though I put that primer potion down, sometimes I still have to, you know, spray it just to get the metallicness the way I want it. And with this one, I did not have to do that at all, and it's kind of blinding, which I'm loving. Now I want to connect the Violence purple next to the gold, so I'm just going to pick up a little bit more of that shadow and just kind of blend that line out right in the inner corner. There you go, much better. Now the last thing I'm going to do for right now is I'm going to take a small MAC 228 brush, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of China White. That's another one that has a lot of pickup, a lot of powder. I'm just going to use this to highlight my brow bone. Now, so far, I have used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors in this palette. And I'm going to be honest, I love all of them except for Confession. Confession, I feel like, did not really do anything. It just kind of muddied up my pink. It didn't really show up the way that it is in the pan. Now, I have never used this before. Like I said, this is a first impression. So I've never used this on its own. I've never used this without a matte shadow underneath it, which sometimes if you put a matte shadow on and then put a shimmer on top of it, it does mess it up a little bit. So I'm not going to say that I absolutely hate it. It just isn't my favorite so far. Now to clean up underneath my eyes, I just take a makeup wipe and I wrap it around my finger and I'm just going to clean up. Now this palette, I said I didn't mind fallout, which I don't. I mean, I don't mind it. I just did notice that this palette had a lot more fallout than palettes I've used in the past. For foundation, this is another one of the products I've never used before, and it is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer, and I did purchase the color 7. So I was looking for an everyday go-to foundation because I like full coverage, but I've just been noticing that I want one that's not as expensive as my Urban Decay All Nighter because I love that foundation, but it's pricey. So I was looking for something that's more of a natural finish, but full coverage, you know, everything in one. So I got recommended to this foundation. Now, the only thing I do not like about this already is the fact that it does have a doe foot applicator. So to me, this is like germ central and you're going to shove it back in your foundation. But the reason that it doesn't bother me that much is because I'm planning on using this as my everyday foundation. So I will go through this one way quicker than I would go through an extremely glowy finish or an extremely matte finish. So I'm just going to take this, and I don't know how much you're supposed to use, so we're just going to wing it. Okay. We'll see if that's enough. We'll see if we need to layer. Take my beauty blender and I'm just going to pounce it into the skin. Right away, I like the coverage. I personally would like a little bit more, but I'm going to see how it layers. The finish is perfect. It's not super matte, but it's not dewy, so it's pretty much a natural finish, which is what I was told it was. Okay, so now that I've got it all blended in, I'm just going to go back and I'm going to take a dot on each cheek just to see how it layers, because my cheeks is where I like the most coverage because I have very red cheeks, as we all know. And I have noticed, actually my sister pointed it out to me, love you Megan, thanks, I actually have an age spot that I never knew was there. So I might put a little bit more over that as well. But this layers beautifully. It does not feel cakey. Now, my skin is extremely dry, and it's been even more dry lately because I've been sick. Sometimes when I'm sick, hence the voice, sometimes when I'm sick, it kind of sucks the moisture out of like my whole body. Not just like around my nose from blowing my nose all the time, but my whole body just kind of gets really dry. So because I'm extra dry right now, it does look a little bit more cakey than it would probably be on a regular basis. But I'm going to try to cover that sunspot really quick. And it actually did cover it pretty well. I mean, as I get really, really close to the mirror, I can kind of see it, but honestly, based on first impressions, this will probably be my go-to foundation. I'm loving everything about it. I think that the finish and coverage and everything is pretty perfect. Now to set my face, this is a new product for me. It is IT Cosmetics by Pores Pressed Poreless Finish Airbrush Pressed Powder. Oh, that's a mouthful. And I believe it is in the color translucent, but I could be totally, yes, translucent. So I'm going to break this bad boy out. But now I'm going to take the Morphe E48 and I'm going to, oh, that's got a lot of kick up. Pick up a little bit of product and press it into the skin. Now when I'm setting my face with the same powder and then also my under eye, I do like to use different brushes only because I like to really get underneath that eye area, and then as well as around my nose, places that bigger brushes are just gonna have a hard time reaching. Okay. Then for the rest of my face, I'm going to pick up this big old boy. This is the Morphe E1. Ooh. Can you see that? That's a lot of, I don't know if I like that. Okay. And I'm going to pat this all over my face. Now it is a little hard to tell because my skin is extra dry, like I said, because I am sick. So I am noticing a little bit of like, it's kind of gathering in specific spots, like right here in my cheeks, but I think that's because I'm sick and I'm so dry in those areas. But on the rest of my face, it absolutely looks amazing, not gonna lie. I'm gonna try to use every single color in this palette, so the only colors I haven't used are Expensive and Black Rainbow. So I'm gonna take Expensive on a Morphe R41 brush. Ooh, I'm a little nervous about this. Okay, and I'm going to put this on my entire lower lash line. That is pigmented. Whew. Using a MAC 212, I'm going to pick up a little bit of Black Rainbow, and now this is a definer brush. And I'm just going to place this right next to my waterline. So I'm not going to really be able to see if there's any glitter in this, but I'll definitely be able to tell you if it's as black as I think a black should be. Okay, so I said I wasn't going to be able to see the glitter, and if I get really close, I actually can, which is kind of freaky because you're putting it on such a small area, so you really shouldn't be able to, but that just shows that this is a good color, and it's really black, which I really like. I'm going to take a Morphe R36, pick up a little bit of Courtney right on the tip of the brush, and I'm going to buff out that blue just a little bit. So now the only color we have not used is Princess. So I'm going to go back in with my MAC 228 and pick that up. Ooh. On the brush, it doesn't look as pigmented as I want it to be, but I'm going to pop this on my inner corner. Okay, she's pigmented. She's definitely pigmented. Now for the rest of the face, the products that I have are all from the Balm. And I got 2 blushes, a bronzer, and a highlighter. Now the bronzer I got is Bahama Mama. And I love the packaging. I think it is the cutest thing in the entire world. Picking up my Morphe 403, I'm going to use this to carve out my cheekbones as well as warm up the face. Okay, so I really like the color of this. I think the undertone is really pretty for those days where you're using the same product to bronze as well as contour. The only thing I am noticing is it's not blending very well. Now I don't know if that's because of the product underneath it or if it's the product itself. So for blush, I actually bought 2. This one is Palm Desert Bronzer Blush. So I guess you could use it as both. This is the color. I guess, yeah, you technically could. I did swatch it on my hand. I didn't really read the package first. This is Take a Dip. Then I bought Hot Mama, which is definitely a blush. And I feel like this reminds me of NARS Orgasm. So, but for today, I think I'm going to be using the other one just for this particular look. It's going to take a little bit of Take a Dip on an angled blush brush. Wow. Okay. That has a lot of kickback. A lot. We'll see. But it's a really pretty color, especially for the fall. So it might be worth it. So all I have left is highlight and lips, and both of those products are pretty new to me. I've never used the lip one. I got it in my BoxyCharm, but the highlighter, I do already own the Balm Highlighting Trio. It looks like this, and I've used Mary Luminizer, I want to say maybe once or twice, but more as like a highlight topper. So I would usually put like Champagne Pop, and then I would do a little bit of Mary Luminizer, like just the tip. So today I'm going to be trying the Mary Luminizer, ooh, that's the back, all over as a highlighter. So I'm going to take a fan brush to apply it, and let's see what happens. Dead. Oh my. Whoo, mama. I'm actually going to take a little bit of it up here because we are being extra today, as I've said. Wow, that is intense, which I love. Not something I'm going to complain about, being too intense with the highlighter. Now for lips, I did open it already and kind of twist it up because I wanted to find a lip liner that would match, but this is the Pure Cosmetics Lip Allure in the color Mystic. So this is one of those things where you actually twist it up and then the product comes out on the top. I think I twisted it a little too much, but that's okay. Then I'm also going to be lip lining first. Now, to line my lips, I'm going to be using an Aveda lip liner in Tarragona. This is the part of their fall collection. Now, because this is a glossy finished lip product that I'm going to be using, I don't want to overdraw my lips because for me personally, I don't like when lips are overdrawn and it's glossy because it really accentuates the fact that they're overdrawn. So I'm going to try to stay as close to my natural lip line as possible. And then take that Pure Lip Allure. Ooh. Now this is a pretty color. Last but not least, I'm going to set my face using my MAC Fix Plus. So that is it for this look. I'm loving the way that this turned out. And I don't want to take it off, but I'm literally just sitting at home. Me and my son are both sick, so we're not doing anything, but I'm totally keeping all the glam on all day. My husband's gonna come home and be like, honey, what did you do today? But I'm living for this. I actually am gonna say I liked, for the most part, every product that I tried. Some of them had some things that I wasn't obsessed with, but I think overall I really liked all of the products. That eyeshadow palette, I am sorry, JEFFREE Star Cosmetics is my ultimate favorite liquid lipstick line ever, and now I'm gonna have to say one of my favorite eyeshadows because it's not the best eyeshadow I've ever used in my entire life, no, but it's pretty damn close. I really love the pigment I got out of them. There's only one color in that whole palette that I was kind of like but everything else is super pigmented, so beautiful. I really love the way that this turned out. But I really hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.